Well, it's early May and I've just come down to give my allotment a bit of a watering and to show you how things are coming along with what I've planted so far and what I've still got left to plant. So we'll have a little tour and I'll show you what I've done. So, in this bed and this bed, these are for the grandson, and in there's some potatoes, beetroots, and the carrots are just starting to come through. They're very tiny, they look like grass but very tiny, so I'm not weeding at the moment in case I pull up the carrot. But yeah, they seem to be taking a bit of time, but then mine did. And then in here, got some runner beans, hopefully going to start popping through. Some peas, some onions, as you can see, are starting to grow. They're exhibition, they're big ones. Some spring onions I planted in there for him, and some lettuces, and then some radish. So hopefully he'll have a nice little crop, so when we've got him next, or whenever they're ready, he can come down and pick them. So needs a bit of weeding, but I don't want to sort of touch it just yet. So that's the grandson's two little beds. Then in this bed I've got carrots. As I say, they're very slow to it's very slow coming up at the moment, but this is the first row I sowed. As you can see, they've started to come up really well now. Next row, a few weeks later, they're just starting to show. Nothing in that row yet because I've only did that the other week. Then I've got some beetroots in the middle part. As you can see, they're starting to come up. They're going to need thinning. And then in the last section is the parsnips. Very erratic, and as you can see, there's like a big gap in that row. But I might just have to sow some more in there. See what happens. Then in here, these are peas that I sowed at home and planted in here, not the weeds. So they're just starting to come up nicely now. And then the other side, I just put the seed in and let them do its own thing. And in this side, I did sow some mange too, but I've only got a couple have come out, so I might have to just put a few more in there and see what happens. This bit's bare at the moment because this is going to be where I'm going to be sowing some dwarf beans and French beans. And then in that side there's another row of peas that should hopefully start coming up soon. And in here I've got a row of runner beans. As you can see, they are starting to pop through. Well, one is. I've just literally put the runner bean thingy in the soil, which were from my runner beans from last year, where I saved a few. So I don't know if you've seen a previous video of mine. I came down one day and this bean frame had been blown over by that storm Dave in the wind, and it has sort of wrecked it a little bit, so I've had to repair it. But what I've done, I've made it a bit sturdier with some like battening type bits of wood so it doesn't move, and just put a little bit to strengthen it. So that's not going anywhere if we get another storm. Well, unless we have a tornado. But hopefully that's going to be there. And these are the sweet corns that I planted the other day. They're all coming along nicely now, getting bigger. Luckily enough, none of them have died yet. And I've got 3 more at home growing, which are a little bit slower, so they'll be going in those 3 holes there. These are my potatoes, which are doing really, really well. I've got the first earlies, second earlies in the middle, and main crop. They've all been banked up, so I'm just now letting them do their thing, and then hopefully in another couple of weeks I'll be able to get some first earlies. They say 10 to 12 weeks, so I've got another probably 6 weeks to go. So I planted them mid-March, I think. So yeah, so that's that. This is the asparagus bed. I've had quite a bit of asparagus this year. These ones will need picking in a couple of days or maybe tomorrow. They've done really, really well this year. In here I did sow some swede, which are just starting to come up. And these are turnips, which I'm going to have to obviously thin out. Then there's a bit of a gap there. I did plant some lettuces, but they don't seem to be doing much here. These were ones I grew at home, but I think they're a little bit too small to put out. But I've got some more growing here, which I've sowed from seed. And then these are radishes. Then I've got some spring onions, which is the second sowing because the first sowing didn't take. And they're on a seed tape, so I'm giving that a go this year. Never grown spring onions on a seed tape before. Then I've got leeks. And then these are onions, brown onions from sets. And in here are onions from seed, which are the exhibition, which I grew from seed at home. They seem to be doing all right. Some of them look a bit droopy, but hopefully they'll pick up. I only sowed them the other day. Then I've got the red onions here, and then my shallots. Okay, so in here, I did an experiment this year. I just sowed some pumpkin seeds where I normally grow them at home in my greenhouse. But I had these little little covers, and I thought I'd give it a go and just plant some seeds. So they are actually growing in here, so I'm going to take the cover off now. Just hold it down with some pegs, metal stakes, stop the wind blowing it, and it's been ideal because I've noticed that I've actually got a couple of pumpkins growing in this one. So there. I have got some growing at home as well, just in case these didn't grow, but they seem to be doing okay. So I'm going to take them off now so they can start getting a bit bigger. Alright. I think I put two in each hole, but one obviously hasn't come up, but I've got two in that one and one in that one, so let them start growing a bit now. And then I tried the same with my sweet squashes and courgettes, but nothing seems to be coming up yet with them. But I have got to say, I have got some growing at home, so if they come up then I'll show you them, what they're like. Yeah, there's nothing there. And then in this last bed, in my cage, is going to be for my brassicas, which I'm hoping to get down here the weekend to put them out. I'm going to have to make some holes in the membrane. I use the membrane to stop the weeds growing, so it saves me time on having to weed. So I've got my cauliflowers, broccolis, Romanesco cauliflower. That's probably all I'm going to get in there, and then the rest of them, the Brussels and the cabbages, I'm going to have to sow at home in my raised beds. So that's what I've done so far and what I've got left to do. So one more row of runner beans, and I've got some growing at home with them, so I'm going to plant them in. My brassicas, runner beans, some more orange too, dwarf beans, French beans, and then plant my squashes and courgettes. Got one more row of carrots to do, and then I've got more lettuces growing at home, so hopefully I'll be able to replace those ones and see how they go. So that's my tour of my allotment. Right, I'm just going to get my hose ready, and I'm just going to now give it a watering. It's quite dry. I've noticed my not beans, my strawberries are a little bit limp, so they need a good watering. They didn't come down yesterday. I came down the day before, but we've not had any rain for a few weeks, so the ground is quite dry. So I'm just going to attach my hose and put my pump on. Well, this is my pump that I fixed up the other day. So that goes then into the water, and that wire there goes to the battery, which I'll put on in a minute. So I just attach the hose, make sure it clicks on. That's on there. I'll take this with me up there, and then battery. I won't turn it on just yet because I haven't put my hose bit on the other end. I'll just show you where this goes. So I've got my thingy in the shed. So in this shed, it needs tidying, but in this shed I've got the bit where the pump goes. So that's the wire from outside. Lift that up, take that down. This is the Bosch battery, rechargeable. Just slot that in there. You have to make sure that's closed up, and then you have to make sure that's pushed down, because otherwise it won't work. I'm not going to turn it on yet because I haven't put my rose end on, but all you do is press that button there for it to come on. This one here you can set a timer, which I haven't used, and then you get a green light to say the battery's fully charged, and it goes to red when it's finished, when it's run out. Very rarely does it get to the red stage, but it does when I use it on all of the 2 plants. So I'm going to put my rose on. I'm going to get my husband to turn that on when I'm ready. So just attach this. So my husband's turned the pump on, and now I'm just going to turn my rose on, and there we go, and we're off. Just saves a lot of walking backwards and forwards to the tap with your watering cans, and it's a lot quicker. So, and it probably uses less water. Well, that's all the watering done. Didn't take long. Watered everything, so hopefully it's going to have a nice soak in, so it'll last now till Saturday, because I can't come down tomorrow because I've got other things to do. So yeah, I'm just going to pack away, lock the shed up and go home. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and thumbs up, and please like and subscribe to Steph's Veg, and catch up with you again soon.